Let's take a look at this statement. I can describe how unique and complex needs of students with physical disabilities and/or multiple disabilities can be met. When we talk about supporting students with physical and/or multiple disabilities, one of the challenges can be just how unique and complex these disabilities can be. Whereas with some disability categories, there are 4 or 5 very specific strategies that work well with nearly all students with that same disability. When it comes to physical and multiple disabilities, the spectrum is so large, it's hard to have just a few that we need to employ. On your screen, you'll see 5 important guidelines to follow when providing services for a student with a physical or multiple disabilities. Take time to learn the student. Learn about their health diagnosis and what impact it might have on their learning. Develop a plan with the family. Make sure you know how you're going to communicate with them, when you're going to communicate with them, and what to do in case of an emergency. Learn the support systems that are already in place for the family. Find out how you should communicate with those support systems, and find out if there's more that you might be able to recommend for the family to be able to use. Modify the environment for safety first, and then also to help the student to be successful. And finally, be intentional about nurturing the student's strengths and interests. When we consider students with physical disability or multiple disabilities, we also need to consider what and how assistive technology can be used. And remember, assistive technology does not mean high tech. It could, but it also means no tech, low tech, and mid tech. On the next screen, you'll be reminded of some examples of each of these. No tech is something simple like mnemonics or graphic organizers. Doesn't cost any money. Low tech is pencil grips, raised line paper, highlighter strips. These are all examples of something that's minimal expense and not a whole lot of difficulty learning how to use. Mid tech is something like calculators. And high tech is something like speech to tech, iPads, word prediction software, things that are a little bit higher on the expense side and also tend to take more training to be able to use correctly. How can you meet the unique and often complex needs of students with physical and/or multiple disabilities? Know what resources are available. Encourage families to not just use what's available through the school, but through outside resources as well. If your school has a social worker, that's another great person to tap in for information that you can share with families. If families introduce you to outside resources, take time to learn about them. If you're here in Minnesota, the Courage Center is a really great place to look. Lean on your team and know when to let go.